So I recently watched all of Naruto, and I gotta say, it's pretty good. I skipped Land of Waves when I rewatched Naruto and went back to it, and that part is pretty necessary when going back to watching Naruto. That sets up a lot, I gotta say. Yeah. So make sure you watch that because I remember watching it and thinking, oh yeah, that part is very boring. So I did not like it, but you need to watch it because it sets up a lot. It sets up how they all act, like Sasuke's ability, Sakura's ninjutsu, Naruto's nine tails, Kakashi having the what's it called, Sharingan. I forget everything. You know, yeah, everything before the Chunin exam, because the Chunin exam is a long arc, like even like whew, everything that goes in between it and all that. So yeah, anywho, um yeah, I like the cast. I gotta say, I feel like the females are definitely underdeveloped in the long term. The only one who feels like pretty competent is Tamari. 1010 is like, how? Like, really, 1010? What? Um, Hinata, like, they have Nenji, so like, and then isn't really meant for like the fighting, but like her rival Sakura, so it's like, oh, okay, and we all know how Sakura is. But yeah, they do lead dirty. Neji's done dirty. Everyone's pretty done dirty because this is technically Seto, and I can't believe like it took me like going back to watching Naruto realize this is all set up for part two, because I never watched part two. Like, I never saw part two because the Storm games, I'm like, oh, I could just play the Storm games. I only played part two of Storm game, by the way. And I only like part one. I don't know, I really couldn't get into part two. I've seen the first 30 episodes of Katsekage arc, Retrieval, Gara arc. That's about it. I gotta say, even though this is set up, it's still pretty darn entertaining. My gripes, let's see, what are my gripes with it? The filler. So I don't really mind the filler in terms of like in between, because like there's filler that's pretty enjoyable, but then there's like this, the filler placement is pretty weird, because like right towards the end there is filler that's like, I guess they want like Sasuke's leaving the village to be more reasonable, so they put filler right before he leaves. It's like, what? Even though it's not canon the slightest. And then there's filler like right in between like everything going down in like the retrieval, so it's pretty weird, but I mean, I think it's fine. And then like when they wrap up, they did something weird where like, because Shippuden wasn't ready to start, they did filler, and like right when they were wrapping up, they decided, oh, you know what, even though we're supposed to wrap up, we're not gonna wrap up, so let's do like the technical wrap up and then like have 80 plus episodes and then wrap up again. So it's pretty darn weird. So I gotta say, for me personally, the Garo versus Rock Lee fight is still better than the Naruto and Sasuke fight. I know everyone likes that fight, but for me it's Rock Lee and Garo fight. I think Shikamaru, I understand why everyone likes Shikamaru, is because his was like his was written the best in terms of like surprise. And Sasuke, I understand why they call him edgy, because like ever since like in the beginnings, like he's like, I'm he does this thing where he's like, I'm gonna unalive myself because these two Jonin level people are gonna fight each other. It's like, what the turd. But yeah, I think part one was actually done pretty well. Even in the anime style, I can't say much with the manga because I watched the anime, but I would say definitely give Naruto a watch if you haven't, since it is on Netflix and Hulu. So yeah, that's my review.